So then he called me and, oh, wait, we're live now.
No, we're live now. We're live now.
I won't use the hard R then.
Let's I'm going to run the ad first for members to show who really supports this channel.
Thank you all for your memberships. Special guest to read them is Joel Rogan.
Spoon Level, Katina Martin, Small Time Republic, Glinzer, Michael Wolf, Biggles_Mets, McKinney Draws, Sean Estep, Pops, Zax, Fork Level. What about Dontarius, Boosh McFadden? Release Thama Kraken, also Me1, Kitty Bear, Soul Assassin, AI Privilege, Tina Boyan, Biensutter, Monkey Jeebus, Ben Hennigar, Mr. Grant Gregory, Eric K. Sporker Level, E. Clay Thomason. Thank you all for your memberships.
Ba-doop-doo. I felt that one. That was good.
The OC Bros?
OC bro. He's not here, is he? You know, he just shows when he wants to. Hosts Ryan, all of a sudden he thinks he doesn't have to come in anymore.
Yeah, what is he, Walton?
Yeah. We lost 6 people. Fantastic. Enjoy the silence. Seems like none of those people up there love us anymore, Mark. Where are they?
Okay, I'm unmuted.
There you go.
No, I thought that was better by just saying nothing then. Because it was just like he was talking to no one.
Scott always mutes me.
It automatically mutes. That would have been even better, Pope. There was no... we almost pulled that off if no one showed up. I forgot he made this run 17 minutes longer. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Saturday night. It is the dump. We have some amazing topics tonight. We have George R.R. Martin releasing The Winds of Winter in 2023. Henry Cavill is back as Superman. Kevin Feige swears Canon is the #1 thing he's going forward with. And yes, it is April Fool's because none of that will ever happen in our lifetime. None of it.
Well, it's April 2nd for me. I thought that was all real.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, to all my Australian friends, I apologize. I truly do. It would be great.
I'm such a sucker for April Fool's Day. I get caught every time. I'm like, really? Oh,
I got caught this year. The only reason I put the George Martin thing is because Stig Kenobi put it up to me. He sent it to me. He's like, hey, Martin's releasing both books in 2024. He's been working on them, just announced releasing. And I was like, oh my God, he is? And before I wrote anything, I scrolled down and I see Nerdrotic. What? And then he's like, oh, I see what day it is. I was like, oh shit, thank God I didn't write anything. He almost had me. I started looking. I got you though, Grant. You started looking for stuff.
I did.
Yeah.
Because it's April 2nd. I didn't think, my friend would lie to me.
See, that's how I got you. I tricked you. I tricked you because it's April 2nd, but for me, it's the 1st. So screw you.
Baptiste. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that right there. Last few videos have been awesome, dude. I've been watching.
I appreciate that.
Nathan gave you a shout out on Friday Night Tights this week.
Yeah, my comment section blew up with that. I wasn't home. I was at work, and all of a sudden, I'm getting all these messages. You got shouted out on Friday Night Tights. I'm like, really?
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. Big shout out to the Friday Night Tights crew.
Those guys are awesome over there. They definitely aren't scared to support. They aren't scared to support, even though some people feel like they should be supporting more. But that's their career, people. You only have 700,000 subs. It's nice when they give you a shout out. You should be grateful. That
absolutely,
is absolutely grateful when they do. They didn't shout me out on Friday though, so I'm taking away my money. No, the check's canceled, Gary. But no, I was going to talk about, jokingly Cavill's back, but there has been some leaks, and this is what we're seeing. Rumors are James Gunn to replace Kal-El with Black Kryptonian at the beginning of his Superman Legacy script. Because it has leaked. This was a few weeks ago that they talked about it, that it leaked. So, and I went back somehow. So I know this isn't an April Fool's thing. So I'm wondering how people feel about that. Like, I don't mind you having a different Kryptonian, but he's not Superman. You know what I mean? Superman's Kal-El to me.
It's
now
kind of the whole Miles Morales is not Spider-Man thing all over again.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So I was going to read a little bit of this and see where we go with that. But let's say hi to the chat real quick. We got Soul Assassin, the king of mods here. Shouting out Greg. Oh my God, Grant. Sorry, Greg.
That's all right, Steve. I'm not worried.
Anytime, Tom. Soul Assassin, thank you. We have Sean. Sean is here. One Man Show is here. One Man Show loves to leave like sarcastic, I don't care about what you're going over, but I'm showing support in my videos and shorts and posts, and people lose their shit. And it's hilarious to read.
I love it because the one he's like, I didn't bother watching it. I just came here to give you a like.
Yeah. And people are like, this is so bullshit, man. And I'm like, well, he gave a like and he commented and it made you comment, so shut the hell up. We got Alex here. We also have Joseph Dredd is in the house, Small Time Republic, who is a channel member and you had your name read out by Joe Rogan himself, friend of the channel. So that's pretty cool. Senora Baptista is here. We have the E. Clay Thomason is always in the house. Tim is here. Who else do we have? Did I miss anyone? Probably somebody early on. Keith Howard was one of the first people and also the awesome one asking about the OC bros. One bro doesn't make the bros. You know what I mean? And he's not here. So I guess we're not having it. I was so ready for it, Grant.
Yeah, well, I mean, like there is three of us, but
yeah,
bros. Talk about the two of you.
Well, yeah, I keep forgetting you're one of the bros. Yeah, we do OC bros. For the very first time, we've never done any streams over on Mad Cheesemo's channel. This is us starting from one, but I guess not tonight, people. Totally forgot to watch it. So that's good. But let's read a little of this. I'll blow it up a little bit more so everyone can follow along. Hopefully you can read it now. There we go. And Popcast said they were coming, but those guys are busy. They're a big channel and maybe mixed up the dates. So I will shame them into loving me one more time and maybe coming on another time. But
maybe telling someone that we want you on April Fool's wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, maybe them saying yes. Totally. April Fool's sounds good. Yeah, I should have read into that.
We should also change the title now and say, and Gary will be here.
Yeah, I usually do that. I only keep that for House of the Dragon stuff because it really pisses people off. Superman Legacy is slated to deal with exactly that, according to the film's writer and presumptive director James Gunn. The iconic American hero will deal with the legacy he set for himself while balancing his alien heritage with the human culture and compassion he embraces. He's poised to return to his roots devoted to truth, justice, and the American way. That's good to hear. I mean, that part, the last part. We haven't had much American way. Now, what is James Gunn version of the American way? I don't know. But
well, I mean, you need a Canadian to tell you what the American way is, so it makes sense.
Usually. He's Canadian?
But this is the other Superman, though, right?
Well, that's what I saw that months ago. I'm like, okay, Superman's coming back. But now we're hearing, yeah, you're right. He's talking about a different Superman. So let's see. Gunn's reboot isn't expected until the summer of 2025. So how all these elements will play out in his story is still an enigma. What he's written is under lock and key, and chances are airtight NDA. So what is exposed to the public amounts only to what he and Warner Brothers are willing to tell everyone. Okay, so how did we get this? Okay, but as history shows, extenuating factors I could read don't stop supposed insiders, and they aren't stopping them now. We have a rumor that a YouTuber heard from an alleged here we go. Okay, alleged insider, but before we share it, we want you to know we are doing so with caution. This information doesn't come from the usual scoopers or commentators we cite who have a proven track record.
Please tell me it's from someone like Mike Zero.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Oh, his name.
Yeah, Mike Zero. That dude is in the future. So while Mike, man, I didn't know when I first started watching Mike, like how bullshit he was. No offense, man. Do your thing, make your money. But like the just throwing shit out his ass and like just throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks was pretty impressive. Like I was pretty amazed.
I wanted to, on sub a couple of times just because nothing personal. I just don't watch his stuff. But the titles are just so amusing.
Right.
It's like, I'm just like, really?
You gotta watch
like every
them.
day is April Fool's Day for him. Holy crap.
Culture Casino's in the house. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. Sorry I was a little tardy. I had to wrap up a birthday celebration where I was the chef. So
Ooh.
Yeah.
And you were barbecuing. What'd you make?
Yeah, steaks. They're inch thick, boneless ribeyes.
Oh, yum.
Beautiful.
So, thank you for coming. Love to see you. We were just talking pop culture, or Popcast supposed to be the guest, but I did send, April 1st. Maybe they thought it was a joke. So,
oh no.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to show up, which is sad.
Well, they're great. The Popcast guys are wonderful.
Yeah.
I hope we're able to get them into their time. So.
Yeah, man. They're amazing guys. They're killing it with their Picard stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Killing it with their Picard stuff. Some of the guests, I'm like, holy shit, you have all these guys together. That's insane. And even though I'm not really watching Picard because he's dead, I enjoy listening to those guys talk about it, and I enjoy watching people enjoy season 3. Like I'm really liking it.
Yeah, if anybody can enjoy something, I mean, that's great. And that's the thing. If people can get enjoyment out of something I don't care for, more power to them. I think that's kind of the position we're in. I mean, I know that it's nice that some people still are into Mandalorian, and things like that. I know that it's nice that that people are enjoying Picard season 3. I know that I've found it kind of interesting. I've talked about it on some shows. I actually have been watching it because I was asked, on various panels that I participated in to take a look at it.
Yeah.
And between those two shows, I'm like, look, this isn't for me anymore. They're still too heavily invested in things that I think are just ridiculous and unsatisfying, et cetera, et cetera. But,
Can I just make a point though about Picard? I'm not trying to sell
ahead.
it to anybody, because sometimes people come at me like I'm trying to sell it. I'm not, but I just want to observe the fact that them getting all of the original or the vast majority of the original Next Generation crew is probably going to be the last go around that we see for them. Now, I'm still stinging from the fact that they didn't get Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher together for the sequel trilogy for Star Wars. You know what I mean? That opportunity is lost to us forever.
Yeah.
All right. People are starting to pass away, with the original crew, as far as the original series is concerned. Now you have the Next Generation crew here together, probably for one last time, giving it their all. And I appreciate this. I appreciate what I'm seeing here. I know that we're not going to get them again. So to me, this is not the time to protest against anything.
Right.
It's the time to kind of appreciate and give them their flowers because they really didn't get like the service that they should have from the movies.
Right.
The movies were lackluster. So to see this now, I'm just, I appreciate what they're doing and I want them to know that I do, especially because it's not actual garbage.
Right.
So,
well, like you said backstage, this should have been season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, consider that. And you're 100% right, Mark. And I don't know if Grant's here, but,
Hello.
Yeah. Had we gotten Terry Trek from the very beginning, maybe things would be different. And I think that's ultimately, the difference between somebody who likes the show, likes the world that it lives in, et cetera, versus whatever, the acolyte of, J.J. Abrams is doing. I'm not, and the problem is with as successful and well received as this show is, now we're going to get more Secret Hideout garbage Trek.
Well, you hope that could someone upper management realize wow, people are really enjoying this season, maybe we've been doing the wrong thing for so long. Let's give the fans what they want. And it doesn't have to be the original class of Next Generation. It could be just a new group of Trek that is in the same wheelhouse as Next Generation and the original Star Trek. Like, that's what we want. We want those shows that there is a possibility for good versus evil, for good to prevail, for moral stories that aren't shoved it down our throat with a message, but shown to us so we can decide. That's the beauty of Next Generation. It's like they give you both points. They don't try to make one look worse than the other most of the time. Usually you could tell which one they're leaning towards, but it might just be that's your view. And you learn morals from these. And the most recent Trek, it's just believe this, that's bad, this is good, and screw you, you're racist if you don't like it.
And you know what, also, it's kind of like, I liken it to if you go out to dinner and they serve you shit, it's like you don't like it, it's terrible. And they say, okay, listen, you're vocal about it. I hate this, take it back, get this out of my face. Okay, we're going to make it up to you, sir. We're going to give you what you want, here it is. And go figure, it actually tastes great. As a matter of fact, it's the best tasting dinner you've had in a long time, but you take one bite of it and you're like, you know what? I'm still mad at you because you messed up that original order. You know what I mean? Even though I'm starving,
right?
I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Who are you hurting? This is something that's actually good,
right?
If you give it a chance, you taste it anyway, and it tastes good, but you're still not going to accept it because you're mad about the crap that you got served previously. It's kind of like that.
I get that, but I still can't get over Picard's dead. That's the only thing I can't do. Like, this is a fake.
Well, I mean, that's within canon story, so I still think that's acceptable, right, to have with the series.
Yeah,
if you can't go on past season one because he's dead and it's just an android. I mean, that's why I stopped watching. I stopped watching at the end of season one because I'm just like, the series, to be honest, wasn't very good.
Right, the first season was terrible.
Well, I mean, I figured that if you're gonna go into a big, giant space battle, make sure you bring your soccer ball along. That was the one lesson that I learned from everything.
Right.
But it's not Picard. Like, just because it's an android that has his memories, it's not Picard. Like that I still can't get around that. That's my biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
They messed up with
they
that.
did mess up big. But I
guess they replaced Data with his brother, and then they went on to have an 8th season of Next Generation. I'd be like, it's not Data.
Right. I do understand where true Trekkies are just like, we're finally getting something we like. Just let us like it. And I love that. Like, I don't feel like anybody should attack anybody for liking what they like, but I can't not point out Picard's dead. But again, the actor's getting so old. Like, let's just enjoy what he's giving us right now. And it is, the first 2 episodes I watched, I enjoyed them. I skipped all of season 2 because I couldn't. But a lot of you guys are saying, 3 is great, blah, blah, blah. So I watched 2 episodes and I was like, okay, I could feel, the original feel to it. The kid who turns out most likely to be his son, I don't know if he is, has that like Kirk feel about him, So I like that too. But I don't know.
There's hokey stuff in there, and you didn't get to it yet if you're only 2 episodes in. And,
yeah.
And again, it's all rolled out, doled out member berries along the way, some fan service, those kinds of things. I
remember.
Exactly.
I remember very well. I remember.
Exactly. I just don't give it the kind of credit that some people are. And look, I mean, there are people out there that are liking it. There are people like me that aren't, but it's miles better than what we had before. And I have to say, and I've said it publicly, and Terry actually, gave the thumbs up to what I said, but I feel like this is much, much better than anything we've ever had under this current regime, but it still suffers under the weight of everything that came before.
Right.
And to be fair, nothing that J.J. Abrams or his acolytes have produced have amounted to anything of value, at least not in the long term.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Is this a bit of Lever Trekkers?
Matt, you know better. Matt, you know better than that, brother.
That's hilarious. No, I mean,
I trick all over.
I'm feeling what Mark's saying. I'm feeling what Mark's saying.
Listen, there's a difference, dudes. There's a difference between member berries and what they're doing here. Member berries is someone just saying, "May the force be with you." Han shot first. Just things that generally everybody knows about.
Right.
Whoever is doing season 3 did their homework. Deeply did their homework.
Right.
Now they can't change what came before in those atrocious first 2 seasons.
Right.
You can't undo that, unfortunately. So a lot of us just can't unsee that. And I understand that completely. But this is a little bit more than member berries. They're going back with a fine-tooth comb, finding things or knowing about things that only people who actually have a respect for Star Trek would even think to bring back up again. You know what I mean? That's a difference.
Right.
Member berries tend to be a little bit more shallow. Just the stuff
valid
that
point.
everyone knows. Live long and prosper. Okay.
Don't you think? And again, I'm saying it this way on purpose. And Mark, I appreciate that you liking this, but they're rolling out these characters like they were doling them out up until the most recent episodes, the last 2, one at a time. One at a time. You're getting one of these old TNG characters one at a time. And you're playing into a storyline that's already been kind of moving along, that has already been done a couple of times in Star Trek. And that's all fine. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, so there's great callbacks. There's interesting things. Bringing Moriarty back, for example, really cool, especially for those of us that are old school Trek people. But at the same time, I think that is more member berry than fan service, and a lot of people are saying there's fan service here. There's some illogical things here, and some people have pointed out that the ship that they would have picked out wouldn't have been the one that they did. So anyway, it is what it is.
Well, I brought in Walton because Walton is covering it every Saturday night at 7 p.m. He's loving it, I'm guessing. All I'm going to say is I just got to respond to one person. E-Clay, I love you, but there's no way you transfer an actual soul. He's dead. He's dead. They just gave him his memories. That's it. Go ahead, buddy. And no, don't go ahead. George, the Giant Slayer for 1999 with a super sticker that's woot, woot, woot. I love you, George. We got to get you back on the panel. I miss you, buddy. You're still in the intro. That's how much we love you. Walton is not, but go on, Walton.
What's going on, guys? Thank you to everybody being here. Please remember to share, link out, smash the like. I'm doing a Rogue Entertainment every week. We are covering Star Trek Picard because, Mark, you're speaking to my heart, brother. This is the best that we have gotten. Frankly, I understand. I have a great panel of people up there. Some don't like it. Some do like it. That's exactly what I want. I want to hear everybody's opinion on this because we're all Trekkies. We're all trying to enjoy something. We have the unenjoyable of Kurtzman Trek that we have had to deal with for the last several years. What I think this is, even if done in poor segments, is a love letter to fans. It is a recognition of what they have done wrong, even if and some of them don't even want to admit that. We are getting, there is a difference between member berries and fan service. And I think we're getting a little more fan service than we are member berries. Shout out to Mr. Tickletrunk for bringing that up. This show shows that what they have been doing is not working. It hasn't been working. You're not bringing fans in. You're not respecting lore. I understand this is Kurtzman Trek, so it's kind of really not Star Trek, and I understand that argument, and I'm fully support that. But what I have seen over the last several episodes, whether I have enjoyed them or had problems or issues with, like that damn Tribble. I'm sorry, if Tribble is not a face hugger. What I have been enjoying is seeing characters that I recognize. I love seeing Michael Dorn. He's one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite characters in all of Trek. Okay, he shouldn't have dark hair. He should have black hair. He's not that old. But I mean, the aesthetic looks good, but that doesn't make sense. True. There's a few things. Picard, the new body, and all that. You're right, Scotty. That's no go. Kurtzman Trek is a no go for me. But this season, we have seen a collection of actors playing the parts that I remember those parts actually being. I got issues. I do have issues with the series, but overall, this is a recognition, in my opinion, of where they went wrong. Okay, this is what the fans want. This is what we're going to give the fans. They do have to give nods to what we've seen in Kurtzman Trek so far, and it's what it is. You got to take it for what it is. But in a lot of the issues that I've had kind of got summed up in a very short scene in this last episode about the changelings, them being tortured in Section 31, them being mutilated, genetically changed, and that's why they look like the stinky pus bags that they turn into now. And also their anger toward the Federation, them not being a part of the collective, part of the Great Link. Overall, I am enjoying this show. I'm supporting this show because it is it's not perfect. It's still connected to Kurtzman, but it is giving us more Star Trek than we have had since the end of Enterprise. And that's my position on it. I'm choosing to enjoy it. I have chosen to overlook some of the issues that I've had, and some you can't, just get over. But yeah, if they continue in this direction, if they continue to honor the past, honor the characters, the lore, the legacy that we have known for years, the legacy that I have loved in Star Trek, then I'm behind it. I support this. This is when we complain so much. I mean, we've been doing this for years in the Fandom Menace, the Fellowship, whatever we call ourselves now. We have been complaining. We have been advocating for a change because our modern mythologies are not being respected in the ways that they should be. At this point, this is a positive change for me, and I support a positive change. I'm not going to be a naysayer on this and just say this is all garbage and I'm not going to watch it. I'm enjoying Picard season 3. It is what it is. And I welcome any debate because I love talking about Trek.
Yeah, I think that's important. And Mr. Tickle Trunk for a Canadian 220 says it best. It's important to stand up and say why you like it.
Yes.
That is very important. Because, I am not the most diehard Star Trek fan. I like Next Generation. You guys got me into it, watching it more recently as an adult than, growing up with it as a kid. But I really did enjoy it. And that takes me back to one, Eclay says that the transfer of consciousness into another being is a TNG episode. So I haven't seen that one yet. So if it's canon, it's canon.
It can happen.
So I don't know if they actually did that with Picard, but if they did, it's canon. I can't now say he's dead, even though he is. He's dead.
Scott, I think with things like that, like you bringing up the Ironic syndrome and trying to use it in creating this avatar or whatever he is, this golem of a Picard now, that is someone from Kurtzman Trek trying to reach back into Star Trek and use it to as a member berry to bring.
And it was such a bad decision.
And it's a bad move because these people they didn't love. Kurtzman doesn't love. Goldsman doesn't love or understand Trek. They don't understand. Those writers don't understand the property, the love that we have for it. The current writer worked on TNG. He's a part of that group.
Yeah, what's his name again? He was on Popcast.
Tickle Trunk knows. Tickle Trunk.
Yeah, Tickle Trunk. Who is that guy again? He was on Popcast a few weeks ago with everybody you could think of. That was a crazy stream.
Harry Metellus?
No.
Waiting for Tickle Trunk. He knows.
He was a younger guy, dark hair. It is Terry Metellus. I apologize. You just said it. You just said it.
Culture. I'm giving you credit.
I said no. Look at me.
Terry Metellus, everyone. Don't worry, I figured it out.
Culture, you're wrong. It was Terry Metellus.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. I just want to say too that the performances, like Patrick Stewart, is doing a phenomenal job. A quietly powerful tour de force with Picard this season. All right, you can feel how you want to feel about him being dead, but the character at this point is so soulful. Even if he's just going on memories, when Captain Shaw is telling him his story, and he just has to stand there and say nothing, like the look in his eyes, what his face is doing, is amazing. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And then when you look at LaForge, in this last episode when he's begging for his daughter, you know what I mean? Yeah. These are powerful performances from people that we have known for years. So to see them getting this is incredibly exciting for me, Yeah. It's like I am so thankful to see this happening for them. When Data is coming back and he's going through a bunch of different personalities and identities and stuff like that. Brent Spiner, amazing.
Wasn't it, dude? And he still has it. He can still flip between Data and lore like that.
And this is what I was talking about when you see these old actors, but their eyes get young, and you can't help but see the passion, when they're going through this. Jonathan Frakes, he is so protective when everything goes wrong. I think it was in maybe episode 3 or 4 when Picard is like, fire everything you got, and it comes back on them. You see this look on Riker's face you have never seen before. He is so burning mad at Picard at that moment. You know what I mean? he actually orders Picard off the bridge. He idolizes Picard. He is his friend.
Yeah.
And something was telling me at that moment, this can't be happening. It's got to be a changeling or something. But no, complex human beings going through complex emotions. You know what I mean? You gotta appreciate that kind of thing when you see it play out that way. So this is what I'm saying. There's a couple of different ways to process this. You know, it's the behind the scenes shit. You know, we know the whole Kurtzman thing, JJ. I'm still mad about that stuff as well. But then it's like, wait a minute, they're doing something here that I have to appreciate.
Yeah.
You know, especially considering the fact that we may never get them again this way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. I said this in my video. I love them more than I hate Kurtzman. And that's basically what it comes down to. I will embrace them, you know, with no apologies. People come into my comment section looking for me to apologize for something. No, I already told you I understand the reasons why. I've heard the reasons why not. But I'm looking past that because I know that we're not going to get this again from these particular people.
Yeah. You
know, so that's where it begins and ends with me. You know what I mean?
Dig it.
I gotta appreciate it, man. I appreciate passion. What they used to say back in school, you get an A for effort. I'm giving them an A for effort. Yeah. And I'm only judging it one episode at a time. So if the next episode comes out and it's crap, don't come to me talking about I told you. No, I'm judging it one episode at a time. You know, in these last 4 episodes, I say bravo.
I saw, you know, it's the critic. I get critical.
Fact.
That deserved that.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I get the critical analysis for each episode, and that's got to be, you know, people are going to appreciate how they wish to, and some YouTubers, that's their job. But you're right. Like this is the end of TNG. You know, like, and it happens to be on Kurtzman Trek. It is what it is, and we have been getting nods to, you know, to recognizing what's been built up in Kurtzman Trek thus far. But as far as seeing these actors, dude, having that 3-minute Tuvok and 7 to 9 scene from Voyager was awesome. Being able to see the Defiant on screen, unchanged, man. You know, like that is one of my favorite ships,
dude. And when they go through each ship, you caught the little piece of the theme song for the shows. I mean, you could say that was fan service, memorabilia, whatever. But that really touched me. Really touched me. You know, that's what I want.
It's meant, but you got to give the respect to those ships. So is that fan service, or was that the smart thing to do?
I think it's a smart thing to do, really, in some of these cases, because and I understand like the judgment on it because it's been misused in the past. You know, with Kurtzman era Star Trek, you know, it's kind of like it's not even fan service, it's not even member berries, just trying to draw you into liking what they like. I see in Picard an honest attempt to do honor to what came before. I support that, whether it's been flawed or whether it's been a great experience to see in that snippet. I applaud it. That's what we want. Yeah. And so if we don't stand up and say we like this is the good direction, this is where we want it to go, we're not going to get a change.
Matt's right here, Steven, though. I do like a little fan service. I do like a little.
Matt likes any kind of service.
You know what I think they got me, Steven? I think it must have been episode 3 when Picard and Beverly are going at it with each other. Yeah. Like I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the raw honesty of that exchange.
Yeah.
You know, I thought somebody was going to back down. I thought somebody was going to be right. But that got deep. And you know, as men who have been through these breakups and stuff like that, Picard almost said just about everything I would have said in a situation like that.
Yeah.
I'm not backing down from this. You were wrong. You know what I mean? And these are people who are supposed to love each other, and we want them to love each other, but they weren't giving each other any type of leeway in that exchange at all. Yeah. You know, and I was like, wow, that's some writing.
It's not only just writing, though, Mark. It's like what we've seen, like in Kurtzman Trek so far, right? The scene with Raffi and Worf, where they're with the Vulcan gangster, right? If this was 2 years ago, written like Discovery or something like that, Raffi would have killed him, or in the training sequence between the two of them, Raffi would have bested him. But that's not what we saw. We saw Worf in the training sequence. We saw Worf giving Raffi, you know, some training. And then as soon as she got cocky, he just stood there side face and just smacked her around a little bit. You know, like we're seeing characters in the way that I would have wanted to see them.
Historically been.
Yeah.
Just seeing women be hit on screen. We're aware of these walls.
Absolutely.
Walton likes watching women get beaten. Okay, Culture Casino for $5. Scott, maybe? Worst April Fool's joke ever. People get excited about a glass of water after a month in the desert. Of course, a glass of water is appealing then.
You're damn right. I'm thirsty, Culture. I'm drinking it up, baby. Give me a swizzle straw.
That's exactly how I felt about John Wick 4.
Of course, we know Culture would be like, no, I am going to die of thirst. I will not take that water.
That's right. That's right.
That's fantastic. Mr. Tickle Truck for another Canadian $5.50. Thank you, my friend, and thank you, Culture. Also, buy Scott's Sporking Member Berry soap. Scott might be forgettable, but it's the smell that you remember. Oh my God, that's a beautiful tagline. I need to start selling soap. That's fantastic.
No,
Thank
you can't do that. That's my gig. Hair and body products. Don't do
I
it.
already got. It's soap. Straight up, just soap.
It's a body product, Dick. No, I will market your soap in my brand line. How's that?
Okay, just at least do that. It makes me happy. Make a Sporking Member Berry soap, and I'll be happy.
Yeah,
I don't even need any money.
I'm gonna do like miniature mustache combs for Walton though, because they're like
beautiful.
This big.
Made out of wood. Made out of wood.
Hair combs, hair brushes.
Yeah, they better be.
Biggles.
If I get you in comics to like show them as like real hair combs, and then like people get them, they're like this big.
I will do that. I will.
Dude,
so
that's
do that.
hilarious. Biggles Mets, one of the best people I've met so far.
Yes.
April Fools. $2.
Whoa, shit.
Sporking and Walton's face scare me. I love Biggles.
You should see the other half, Biggles.
It's very scary.
Biggles
Very small.
Biggles owes me a pizza. So
Rafi's the bestest ever.
No, but I will admit the interaction between Worf and Raffi.
I agree.
Got me liking her a little bit more. Got actually putting her on the like.
Oh no. That's it's still Raffi, and she's like Secret Service. Like that chick's dumber in a box of rocks as the character's been portrayed, not the actress. I'm saying the character.
Yeah.
And there's no way I believe any of this based on the first 2 seasons.
I gotta say though, the episode where she's acting like a drug addict and has to give up her family.
She was allowed to act.
She was staying in character. I was actually amazed by her acting.
She was allowed to act. See, and that's the problem with all of this stuff, right? Nothing has tested the range of any of these people in the first 2 seasons. And, Mark's right. It's nice to see the characters be played again as we remember seeing them. He was talking about, Picard being properly portrayed. I agree with him 100%. But again, I have been beat so many times that when they're still screwing things up, I'm going to focus on them. And they've screwed a lot of stuff up in this season. And it's not Terry's fault. That's the greatest thing. The guy that came in to try to save this show is working his ass off to save
he is.
On a shoestring budget.
They cut a lot out. And you can. What I like about it is that has to make you more creative and better at your job. And you see that there. Yep. I mean, think about it. In TNG, they didn't have the world's biggest budget. They reuse sets all the time. They focus sometimes on only 3 rooms of the ship. They have so much no money that you don't really get a proper engineering deck, right? You get this one room that's probably the transporter room that they repurposed to shoot the scene in, because you got nothing to do, no money to do it with. So yeah, I got a little bit of this is way too generic feel when they were in the ship museum graveyard area. I was like, oh,
really? Like, I understand that, but to me, it was just like, hey guys, here we're going to show you we're honoring Trek.
Right.
That's what I saw. I saw recognition of all these movies and all. One of the things I love, Culture, is that they did not change those ships. They didn't update them. They didn't Kurtzman Trek them. That was the UH. That was the bounty. That was the Defiant.
Hey, as a member berry for each of those ships, and as fan service for the thing in its entirety, because it was both things at the same time.
No reason for it to be there, though. No reason for the shipyard to be there.
I loved it because I'm looking at I looked at the ship I grew up with. Mark, I know you did. You felt the same thing, right? You're like, oh shit, and then they show 1701A.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Pope Metallicus the first for $10.
Why not?
Mm-hmm. Pope has a great channel, guys. I was on it the other night. We were doing history of rock and roll. Good stuff. Check it out. Good guy. Culture Casino hand soap, because of course it's good hygiene.
That's right. I say that every video and every live stream. So yes.
Wash your hands.
On your latest one.
Yeah, Henry Cavill's not coming back April Fool's. Sorry.
Midnight's Oblivion, P Hard. I love the way they tear up the title, man. P Hard. P Hard. We've heard it all, man.
P Hard season 3 is like a farewell party. Oh God.
It is. But I'm enjoying the party.
It is.
Well, I mean, some of these guys,
and you don't want to go to the party. It's your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
written the way they used to, acting like they used to.
They
not acting like something different.
They dug up Moriarty, gospel. Yo, did you? Yeah, with the scene where they're sitting on the and
wait a minute, Moriarty. Wait a minute, Moriarty's from the episode where it was in the holodeck, but he became sentient, right?
Yeah.
No shit,
Professor Moriarty. Yeah, remember the one what got me was when Riker was sitting in the captain's seat and he turned to Picard and said, "Well, I should call you number one." You know, like the role reversal there. That's what I'm enjoying. Those interactions there. That's just that's meaning a lot to me.
See, it's beautiful. It's the point that I was trying to make. They do this with what was it, Cobra Kai, where every now and then they'll flash back to something like 30 years ago. You know what I mean? And it feels honest because we saw it. We know that it happened. So when they flash back briefly to Riker from that very first episode of the very first season, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, this is great. You know what I mean? Because it did happen. They're referring back to something for a reason. Yeah. Not just they didn't just throw it in there. You know, like I said, I know some people are just seeing it as, you know, just member berries or whatever, but it's honest. It's honest as memories that we have as human beings. You know, we flash back all the time to things, you know, earlier days or whatever, you know, recalling other things. And I think, you know, there's a place for that.
Yeah, absolutely there is. You know,
like
but
corner of my mind.
They are doing one or two things wrong.
Wait. Culture has battered Trekker syndrome.
I think there's a little bit of that going on. It's some type of PTSD or whatever, because we've all been abused. We've all been abused. That's why we raised our voices in this in the first place, you know. But the challenge has got to be to identify those elements that we actually do like, that got us into this in the first place. Because if we just act sour to everything, then we're falling prey to the critics that we've been facing all of these years. Oh, they just want to complain. They don't like anything. No, there are certain elements of things that we like. To have that ability to point it out, no, that I do like. That I do like. Once again, integrity. That's honesty in criticism, as much as the criticism that we have, you know, regarding things that we don't like. Right. There's got to be balance.
And as nerds, we disagree. We argue. We do that. But I don't like the disrespect I see for people that are like don't disrespect people for what they like.
No.
That's why we're going after Hollywood and not each other. And just because now some people, it almost seems like to me that some people are acting like you're not being faithful to hating things. Like I'll tell you right now, if The Winds of Winter truly came out tomorrow, every video on my channel will be about it. Every video, because I will be like, because I am so excited for that book that'll never come out. You know, like, dude, it'll be like, and then you know, oh God, John attacks Storm, and oh God, it's happening. Well, that's John Con, people. John Con.
I brutalize Abu Nas because he just cannot let go of the Snyderverse. You know what I mean? So it's all about the Snyderverse. The Snyderverse is coming back. The Snyderverse. There's no Snyderverse. Yeah, and you know, I tell him at this point he reminds me of Linus and the Pumpkin Patch, talking about the great pumpkin. He's coming back. You know what I mean? But I love him. You know what I mean? So we have fun with it. But I respect it. I respect that he's passionate about it. I respect the people who love the Snyderverse.
Right.
I enjoyed the Snyder Cut as well. I'm not a fanatic like they are, but at the same time, I can't fault them for it. They saw something that appealed to them that they like, and they want it. They want more of it. It did end on a cliffhanger after all.
And Jane's
yes,
right.
per paragraph, Jane.
That's
absolutely.
Right. Jane's right. Look, let me say this. I have made it a point to say I don't like this, but I like the actor that did this. Then the actor can only do as good as what they're given. There are times when, despite the interviews that they give or whatever else is going on, you can see in their performance that they give their all. And you know, in the video review that I do for the film that just came out, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, I make it a point to say that in there in a couple of different ways. Because
how was that?
Watch my video.
Okay.
Watch the review.
Wow, that was nice. That was good.
But no, I'm sorry. Mad usually gives me credit for shilling, but I'm not actually shilling that. What I'm trying to say is, though, I want you to like what you like. I want you to love what you love. I want you to be passionate, as Mark says. He's 100% right. Be passionate about that thing. I'm not gonna burn down your passion. I may try to point out why I don't agree with your opinion using like logic and facts and things, but that's not attacking you personally. It's just saying these are the reasons I don't like it, and I think that's fair. I think
absolutely
sure, because I got logic and facts too. We just come to different conclusions.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah, and that's true. Pope Metallicus the first for $5. If Winds of Winter does come out, every single page of Scott's copy will be sticky in hours.
Yeah.
That's so messed up. That's so messed up. And maybe not every page. I can't read that fast. Take me a couple hours. Yeah, no, I get it. I do, because like that's like I like Star Trek a lot. Star Wars I love, but like A Song of Ice and Fire has become something more even as an adult than I ever thought it would be. So I get that idea. Like I attack George. I'm upset with him, but if it came out and it was good, call me a shill, people. I don't give a shit, because if I like it, I'm going to love it, and I'm going to do every minute of it.
Right.
I'll read pages to you as I close my eyes and shiver. It's my thing. I don't care. Screw you.
Know what the difference is, though? The difference is that, like, when you hear Steven, like I just heard him say, there are certain things he's not going to try to justify. If it doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? That, okay, you're right. Certain things shouldn't happen. So seasons 1 and 2, for example, should have never happened. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're seeing something now that you enjoy. Just like culture, you never know. You might see something in the next 2 episodes that you're like, that's actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? And in that way, it could win you over just a little bit.
Right.
But that's the beauty of all of us having our own different tastes and views and opinions. I might hate the next 2 episodes. Who knows?
Hey, look, Mr. H at HCast, Mr. H Reviews, he and I disagree vehemently on things all the time. It's okay. It's okay. We have wonderful conversations. And look, let me introduce this idea. No matter what.
What?
No matter.
I thought you froze for a second. I'm like, what's going on?
I am used to getting interrupted. That's why I stopped talking.
Oh yeah, we won't do that to you tonight.
Oh, okay. No, it's just this particular universe still leads us everywhere. What the fuck are you talking about?
Crit, you son of a bitch! I want him to come back.
Dude, don't blame me for that one.
Oh, it was all you. All right, go on, Culture. Sorry, I'm muting.
Trek ultimately is going to end up the same way Star Wars did. And we honestly have to just realize that everything's still leading to the sequel trilogy, and everything still exists in this very limited, world that has been crafted for the bad reboot folks. And at the end of the day, all that our support of this show has done is get a doubling down of more Kurtzman bologna sausage with Starfleet Academy, the Upper Decker show, and all of the other stuff. So just remember, your love and support for this show has now left us with possibly more destruction. So
I wholeheartedly disagree with that assessment, Culture, because if we are, if they are doing this because we have not, if we are enjoying this because it's a direction that we want to see happen, then this is basically saying that what Kurtzman has done, what Golden did in season 2, everything that we have gotten so far is not good. That's why we're complaining about it. If the people who have been speaking up against Kurtzman Trek for the last several years are going, hey, I like this and this is why, and explaining that, we are defying their direction. If they change the direction in the way that the fans want to see, we'll get better Trek. If they don't, then we're going to criticize it again and go back and point at Picard season 3.
But I'll say it again, Walton. You're not going to get better. You're going to get more Upper Decker. You're going to get, that in Starfleet Academy. You're going to get the next version of an STD, because that's all bad reboot is capable of. Unless they
So in the end, what you're saying is that you can't be objective. Because no matter whether using your logic, because whether it's good or not, you will not acknowledge it, because your acknowledgement will be taken as an enabling of Kurtzman Trek in the future. So anyone who is saying that they do like what's going on is contributing to more of the crap. And you don't want to be a part of that, whether it's good or not.
All I'm saying is this.
He's hurt.
If you expect anything different, Mark, I'm sorry. I expect nothing different in the future.
You should really watch
different now, bro. There's a sign.
Any different?
Say that again, Mr. Grant.
I thought he was going to start clicking his fingers there, the way he's wobbling his head.
Yeah.
Who?
No, I was just thinking. Walton has a channel now for abused people, and you might want to watch some of the videos because it might help.
Know your worth, culture.
I just want to know.
I just want to point out.
Yeah,
there's a sign on the wall behind me that says, "Yes, yesterday," and it's crossed out. It says tomorrow, crossed out, and it says now. That's actually a personal philosophy of mine. All we ever have is now. And right now, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. All right. So I'm not going to sacrifice now for tomorrow.
I'm not sacrificing anything.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm watching the show. I'm acknowledging the good things. I'm calling out the bad things. That's all I do.
He's prepping for tomorrow, Mark. He's prepping for tomorrow.
Fine. That's fine. But then you took it one step further by saying those who are enjoying it are contributing to the mess that we're going to get later. All right. So
I was speaking. I should have been.
So it's kind of like you're saying you accept, but then you're kicking our ass on the way out by saying, okay, so it's going to be your fault because of what we get. Yes, you are, culture. Yes, you are.
I'm saying as a talking head, take responsibility for what we get after this show. And if it's good,
why would I take responsibility for it? I'm not producing it. I'm just saying what I think of what I see.
You're giving it praise, your love, you're directing your audience to it.
I'm being honest.
You have a platform, and that's fine. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. See, you're saying that you can't be honest.
I am.
Because if you're honest and you say that you like something,
Mark,
then you're contributing to the mess that you're going to get later.
I just gave you all the things that I've liked in the show so far. I can keep going. Like, I really did enjoy it.
You're guilty too.
No. I am projecting the future at the same time, saying, if this is where we are, this is what we've gotten, and we know that there is a finite amount of this, and the finite amount of this got the next contract extension, which grants all these other shows that we've already got some insight into, which leads me to believe they're going to be terrible based on everything that's been talked about within them. Then now we're going to get we got one season of a show out of how many seasons of how many shows that was good. My biggest problem is that I can acknowledge all the good here. I don't mind doing it. But if I look forward to it, and I'm selling people on this, I don't want them to take that as acceptance of everything that's gone before and give somebody, the ability to abuse us further in the future. It's like saying, you know what? There was this great scene. There was this great season in the Disney Star Wars trilogy, the sequel trilogy. This is one great scene. I absolutely loved it. But if that great scene actually leads to that thing being further destroyed, was it worth it? I don't know.
So you choose not to acknowledge it, even though you know that it was a great scene?
No,
is that the solution?
No. I'm just that was a for instance. There were a couple of really good scenes. There was a lot of missed opportunities in the sequel trilogy. We can talk about this all day, but what I'm saying is, if we aren't critical of the things that should be criticized, if we aren't willing to call out everything else that's going on, then we've got a problem. But at the same time, if for whatever reason our passion about this leads them to renew this jerkweed's contract, then we're culpable. Every viewer is culpable in getting more inferior and oftentimes devastating product. That's my biggest concern. Would it have been better for people not to consume this in real time? Perhaps, because I think that we wouldn't be saddled in the future with more garbage. That's the only thing I'm worried about, Mark. And like I said, I'm truly objective. I can say the performances that we've seen, Michael Dorn, Spiner, you were talking about just a moment ago, that was wonderful to watch him switch between before, lore, data, and even the dad, Nguyen Sung, right? To see him just go, no, that's not right. Is that right?
But his Biden impression was the best.
But my whole point is to watch him flip around and be able to get back to playing each one of those characters. That was probably one of the most impressive scenes I've ever seen. Right.
So what you're really saying, and I think I got this, is that you hate Mark. Is that what you're saying?
He's explaining to him. You hear me? He's Trek-splaining to this man. Oh,
no, I get it. I get it. Listen, believe me, I get it. I say for the better part of the last maybe 7 years,
right.
6-7 years, I've been going hard on these things. You know what I mean?
I know.
I with all the passion in the world, I've torn apart everything for the reasons that I've had. You know, my whole the whole son thing and all that stuff. I just as passionately go for the things that I appreciate. I'm consistent that way. You know what I mean? It's like if I ever get to the point where I can't be honest about something, then I might as well just hang it up. I can't do it. This is the reason why I say he is I and I am he. It's an affirmation for myself at the beginning of every video that I only serve me and I as far as my expression.
Yeah.
I have to start from there.
Sure.
And it's been like the greatest privilege to see that there are so many people out there who feel the same way that I feel. I feel the same way that they feel. I will lose that to myself and to the ones who actually come to see what I'm saying. Yeah. If I ever represent something that is less than honest.
Well, that's why they come see us.
That's why they come see you.
Exactly.
That's why they come see me. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. No, I agree.
I can say sure that when Solo came out, I said so many times, I don't care if it is good. Disney has got to pay for what they did to Star Wars. I said that over and over again. So the honesty here would be, even if Picard is good, I will not support it because of what has come before and what could come after. Yeah. But I would not say that it's just not good. You know what I'm saying? Like I can agree with seasons 1 and 2. I can agree with Discovery. Everything that they've done has been trash to me.
Yeah.
These last few episodes have been satisfying to me in a really, really good way. What happens after these episodes could be trash, and I will say that.
Well, we have to support that.
But I will never not be honest about things. You know what I mean?
And Mark, the only reason, because I had sworn off this show and Mandalorian season 3. Yeah. And the only reason that I'm watching them is because I was asked to by my audience on some panel shows. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I would not have done it because there's no way I want to feel guilty for what's going to happen in the future for the man that just is getting his contract renewed and sending out this Starfleet Academy and all these other inferior shows, including now we're going to get this Sector 3169, 4000, whatever the fuck this is in the future. And it's riding on the backs of support for this particular production company, which goes about its business as destroying Star Trek because it's a platform that they can propagandize on.
But they're not using Picard as a platform. The season 3, they're not using it.
Maybe not. They're using it to get a contract renewed or to get an extension and an opportunity to go forward.
That. And if they make crap in the future, we'll be able to point back and say, hey, we like this and we don't like, or we like this.
Well, are you going to feel guilty for your support of a show that was the only good thing that came out of Kurtzman?
No, I'm not going to feel guilty for loving characters I've always loved and getting something we should have always gotten and supporting something that is showing why I like Star Trek. Okay. And I'll have no issue calling out any Trek that comes after this that is used as a platform to espouse propaganda, bigotry, hate, and segregation. I have no issue doing that. I'm going to be truthful to how I feel and how I see it. I will always be able to go back to Picard season 3 and point out the things I liked about this season, the characters, the lore, the respect, not being used as a platform to espouse these things and say, this is what I liked.
Well, if over the course of the next 6 years, you get more Kurtzman Trek,
then it is what it is. But I mean, will that happen regardless?
No, I get what
It was
Culture's
gonna
saying. So
it was going to happen regardless.
Trek, it's all Walton's fault, and we can blame him.
Do it. Everybody else does.
Yeah,
And that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. It's like people are just gonna point to Steven and people like me and just be like, "It's all your fault."
Mm-hmm. Well, in the same way,
these things were happening. These things were happening regardless anyway, because it is tied to an agenda. You know what I mean? It's like they hijacked it for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
In the context of that, we saw something that was more akin to what we do like in Star Trek, and we rightfully pointed it out. That was it. Nobody was doing a big dance on a stage, kissing Kurtzman's ass or anything like that. It's like, look, a broken clock is right twice a day, right? They say. So it's like, okay, so we got something that we appreciated. We rightfully pointed it out, and we reserve to rightfully point out anything that they do wrong in the future. It's just that simple. Criticism is criticism, whether it's constructive or anything else. But a man has got to be able to stand up and speak his mind, and I will always do that. I will never be afraid of what's going to come into the future. I will face what comes in the future, and we all should. I'm not going to be like, oh, I better not say anything because they're going to do this, they're going to do that. No, hell no, that's not who I am. That's how we as a fandom should be able to stand up and say how we feel from moment to moment about what we're seeing. Future be damned. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why they fear us in the first place.
I know, Mark.
They're not going to get into my mind like that, where I'm just not going to be able to say anything because I'm afraid of what they might do in the future.
Well, we will have to. Well, like I said, we can see is what happens. And again, I'm not saying I'm fearful, Mark. I hope you're not insinuating any of the things about me. No, I face every day as straightforward and forthright as I possibly can. I know you do too. I mean, but like I said, I just want everybody to realize that if all of this came about because of support for this one season of something that was good, then there we are. I mean,
on the same lines, hold on, Culture, because I got to interrupt you. I see a little bit of a dogma here. What about the argument that reviewing things that you don't like is actually advertising a company? I mean, if you're reviewing things you don't like about Star Trek or Star Wars and you don't like them, aren't you advertising those companies by
I honestly take every opportunity I can to say good and bad things about every product I'm asked to review. Again,
dude, you got to watch Gotham Knights, and you'll have a hard time finding anything good about that.
I haven't been asked to watch it, and based on what
I'm going to make sure everyone in your chat does. Every video now at the end of it's going to have, "You want me to watch Gotham Knights?"
Good. I hope somebody does.
Etep's reviewing them. He loves it.
I mean, look, I need to find is
Batwoman because I
need to find my Batwoman. That's what I need to find. I need to find my Batwoman that I can complain about 24/7.
Yes, you do. Absolutely.
And then I'll be a better person.
Mind it, Culture.
Yeah. That was terrible. Batwoman was terrible. Yeah. Whatever that was on the CW. Was that Batwoman or Batgirl? It was Batwoman, right?
Batwoman, yeah.
Yeah. I saw one episode
was the one that got that was the tax write-off movie.
Oh, and Nerd Cookies did a great job today. One of the videos she recently released.
She always does a great job.
No, I mean, what really bothers me is somebody always managed to say something about her voice, and her voice is angelic. I don't understand the hate.
It's haters. It's haters culture. They hate the beauty of her voice. They don't have it. They sound like the sisters from The Simpsons. They smoke 3 packs a day. They can't stand it, and that's why they complain about Nerd Cookies.
It's like,
wonderful.
It's like Nerd Cookies and Jane Theory. They have like these golden voices that you're like, oh, I could like read the phone book. I'm gonna or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, sorry. I'm not simping or nothing. I'm just telling the truth, straight up truth.
And that's what I'm talking about. See, you just said it right there. See, it's not simping, it's not shilling, it's just telling the truth. You know,
Right.
And that's the way I see it. It's just like looking out the window and saying, "Ah, that's a nice
No,
sunset," or "Oh my God, it looks like it's going to be a shitty day." You know, it's as simple as that. You're just telling the truth from moment to moment.
Oh
you
no,
tell
no,
the truth.
he agrees with that, but he says when you do it, it's chilling. That's all. That's the only difference.
It never came out of my mouth.
I mean, it's
I
necessary.
I know.
Culture, I can make the words come out of your mouth really easily.
He can.
Oh my God.
Just like this.
Yeah.
You guys didn't see this earlier because you came on late, but Mark was here at least. Thank you, Mark and Grant.
I was doing a family thing.
Oh, your
you
family.
Know I was gonna. You son of a.
We got a
He was
special
cooking steaks,
guest.
baby.
We got a special guest to read the members. Here's our members, and please become a member today.
Thank you all for your memberships. Special guest to read them is Joel Rogan.
Spoon Level, Katina Martin, Small Time Republic, Glinzer, Michael Wolf, Biggles_Mets, McKinney Draws, Sean Estep, Pops, Zax, Fork Level. What about Dontarius, Boosh McFadden? Release Thama Kraken, also Me1, Kitty Bear, Soul Assassin, AI Privilege, Tina Boyan, Bienser, Monkey Jeebus, Ben Hennigar, Mr. Grant Gregory, Eric K. Sporker Level, E. Clay Thomason. Thank you all for your memberships.
Thank you all.
Well done.
Sorry. Yeah. I think Joe, a friend of the channel, did a really good job. Yeah. Next, I need nerd.
Ninja.
I need nerd cookies.
I think Joe needs to learn how to say awesome better.
I need to know how to
love
learn
the
how
fact
to.
that the AI has the hardest time. If they go, someone, Asame, but the one he did there was almost like a Japanese name. It was Asame.
Well, I say Jal Rogan.
Speaking of Japanese, the
Super
Jinja
chat.
Ninja
Yes,
is joining
sir.
us. He says,
Yeah.
maybe the reason we got this season is because of how hard we rebelled against what was being made. And that if we don't recognize it, then what's the point of fighting for our lords?
I was trying to bring that up before, but you guys were going so hard. I didn't want to bother you, but that's the truth. Like we talk about that. Support what is good so they keep making what is good.
Right.
And show it with our money, show it with our views, and maybe they'll keep making it.
Well, keep making content, keep putting your opinions out there, because that's the most important thing. It's no matter what it is, whether you like it, dislike it, point it out, however you decide to review it. Our voice was stifled to begin with. You know, they weren't paying attention to the fans. That's why this backlash began. So really, I mean, that's keep telling how you see it, how you love it, how you experience it, because that's the most important thing.
Yeah, let me read a couple of these because we got a couple. Mr. Bigwig Maji AG Lig
Mr.
Vietnam.
Bigwig Majig AG Lig Vietnam Ham Jam.
Oh,
Big
Vietnam.
Sig.
Huh, can't even say that.
No, it's actually it says Vietnam there.
I'm cross-eyed. I can't
That's
tell.
what I said.
Vietnamese that live in Vietnam. Ham Jam Fig Stig. Try. Oh, what's try? $22. CC versus Mark proves you can have discourse done right.
Yeah, even when culture's mansplaining or Trek-splaining, excuse me.
Trek
I was
explaining.
not doing that
You
either.
were Trek-splaining.
I love culture.
Bigot.
Well, someone does. Mr.
Mark, what is going on here? I can't wait to see this man. You guys don't understand. I've been wanting to see Mark for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Give that dude a big hug. Thank you for dumping out the naysayer. Appreciate it. Oh, you brought him back.
Because I didn't do it. That was Grant Gregory once again.
Sure, stop blaming Grant.
He's Australian. We're allowed to blame them.
And Tina Bojan,
Son
you're
of a
right.
Bitch.
Your bright, shiny face is all that's keeping the MCU going, because it certainly isn't the CGI that they're doing in any of their
Oh, it's so
programs or movies.
Thank you for
By the
doing
way,
that.
if you want to see good CGI,
Hold
Dungeons
it.
and Dragons.
Hold it. Mr. Tickle Trunk Canadian Chew 22. Kurtzman, yes, man. The contact was coming anyway. And then you have Snow Dub has the Tuck and Roll Boys. They have a show on after this. Hail, friends. Thanks for all the support, Spork. Dude,
Hail, Snow.
love your show, man. Guys, go over there after that. Before this show, go over to Walton's channel. They do it at 7 p.m. We could have I was about to say a three-way. I didn't sound
Hello, Corey. You interested in a three-way?
Actually, I
I
said
mean, man's salad.
that was
Ooh,
weird.
Does your wife know about this?
Yeah,
Kinky?
no. At the point, I don't think she'd care at this moment. Juan Wong for $5. Mark speaks the
Can you say that
truth.
again?
Respect.
Could you say that name again?
Yes.
Yeah, what was that?
Dude,
want a
we
Wong?
screw up Wong's
What?
name, man.
Go on, do it.
Juan. right?
Yuan Wong.
Why do you always mess up the Australian names?
I don't. Is that Australian? No, that's Canadian. Australian should say. Okay, sorry, my Australian brothers. Stop making me feel uncomfortable.
Culture's about to have a seizure.
What is going on with culture?
I think he's frozen again.
He's not frozen.
He's splaining. See, that is Trek splaining. That is the Trek splaining pose
He's
right
not
there.
frozen. He's
blinking
moving.
and his hands are moving.
Don't worry, because
Not that
Mags
he's the woodwork has made his nerves shot, so he can't hold his hands still.
Mags for $2 wants a PSA. Walton loves trees. That is true.
Yeah.
Another Mr. Tickle Trunk 220 Canadian. The contract was coming anyway. Kurtzman equals yes man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we will be able to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus. Do I have to?
Yes,
Another
you do.
220 from the beautiful Mr. Tickle Trunk. Rubber Baby Blargler Blumpkins. Oh, wow.
Ew.
Oh, wow.
Deep.
That
You know
is-
what a
That's
Blumpkin
it.
is, right,
Stop the
Scott?
show
Yes.
right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
You understand. Okay. You get a visual on that?
I completely a Rubber
Smell it
Baby
from here.
Blargler Blumpkin. Yeah, that was pretty effective.
Canadian.
Woo! That's a Canadian for you. What were you going to say? Go Culture now.
Honor Among Thieves actually has some really
That was
impressive
amazing.
CGI in it.
Wow.
I think you would be really impressed if you took the opportunity to see it in the comfort of your own home, because I will not recommend you buy a ticket for this damn film. And I'm so surprised that the box office is going to come in at over $40 million domestically for the weekend. Now, it's going to fall
You guys
off-
may laugh, but this is legitimately how I have to do his edits.
That was amazing, dude. He froze for like a good 4 to 5 minutes and just boom. Keep going, brother.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Mags for $2. Meme culture. We all love when you meme culture.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Legion? Get him. All right, go on. Your go. Go, culture.
I can't believe it's making that amount of money, but it's not going to make any more because it's going to fall off a cliff somewhere around 55-60% in the next weekend.
All right, hold on. It's pronounced, God damn it. It's pronounced Jin. Like, I can never say his name either. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon, Scott.
Qui-Gon Jinn. He's
I love-
dead.
I love
That's all
Star
I know.
Wars.
He's fucking dead. Who cares? And it's a prequel
You should
fucking
know the
movie.
full.
It's a prequel movie. It
The
sucked.
prequels are the prequels.
The
are
first
best.
movie sucked. You're
Oh.
trying to tell me the first movie was good? You're an idiot.
Oh.
Is this
Yeah.
a put on? Like what's going on here? Like what is that?
Jin Urso. All right, go.
It might fall off even more than that because Super Mario Brothers is coming out on April 5th. It's going to dominate the box office for weeks. It's going to have huge legs, very little competition. Going to be the first.
All right, hold.
$1
Mr. Tickle Trunk for Canadian 220. Culture Casino has evolved a buffer.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
All right, rewind.
Legitimately
All right.
confused.
Back up a step and go.
film that I think will be out this year. It might be the only $1 billion film that we see. I'm just saying.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Wonderful.
That was some
Thank
deep
you.
shit.
Mhm.
Mark is just shocked.
I learned a lot right now. Thank you.
Yeah. Mark is shocked at the
Also,
moment.
Scott, I did do something for you earlier. I forgot to show you.
What is
Matt
that?
was giving you shit during the week about not having a theme song. So
Okay.
I did do you one. So,
Oh, let's hear it.
His name is Sporking, he's bulky. He's not very tall, he cuts off his member and wishes for winds of winter.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. That was impressive.
Nice.
I am not that short. I'm
Yes, you are.
5'9". Look who's talking. You're like a Gimli, hurry up, man. We're not long sprinters, but we're fat. I mean, we're not long runners, but we're quick in the sprint. You fucker.
I'm taller than Walton. I'm taller than Scott. I'm taller than
By
Nate.
a hair.
Whoa.
By a hair.
Culture, you're pretty short.
Dude,
No,
we want to go
you're
there.
about 6, right? You're about 6? 5'11". You're 5'11". You got me by an inch or two.
he's 6'24" on his heels.
Yeah, when I'm wearing my heels, I'm 6'1".
Hold on. We're a group of men talking about inches and heels. I think this needs to stop right now.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. All right, maybe a little bit. I don't even have it. Oh, did we ever finish this? This was dumb. No offense to Bounding into Comics, but it's coming from someone they don't even trust. So I think someone just needed a letter about the.
I don't know what this is, but I'm not reading it anymore.
Yeah, we're done.
When you first did that and you were talking about having a black Superman, truth, justice, in the American way, I thought, well, I wonder what AI thinks of that. So I put all those things into it, and this is what I come up with.
Wow.
Damn.
Magnificent.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
So what did you put in again?
Holy
Wait,
Moses.
what's going on?
He's jacked.
Yeah.
He's saving a
No,
baby
I said,
from a fire.
Yeah.
Looks like he was
I
dancing
said,
with the baby on fire.
I said black
Sick fuck.
Superman as the embodiment of truth, justice in the American way. And that's what I come up with.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
AI wants a black Superman. So what? Zombie Bucks reviews for £2. Walton is by far my favorite gay YouTuber.
Yeah, he means happy. Yeah, thank you. I am very happy. Very
Yeah.
gay. Thank you.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, psych meds work.
Mr. Trek actually say that I evolved a buffer?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah, you were buffering at the time.
Oh.
That's it. We're not distance runners. We're natural sprinters. Very dangerous over short ground.
That's right. Thank you, Boosh.
It shouldn't say Gimli. It should
By the
say
way,
Walton.
meeting Walton in person was like, meeting that tent revival like preacher, right?
Oh, I thought you meant it was like meeting a wish, make a wish kid.
Damn, Grant. I was begging a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I mean, at that stage, your channel was dying. That's what I was referring to.
Well,
How you guys feel about Jonathan Majors lately? Woo! Talk about a brother who they were pushing to the heights and fell hard fast. I don't know how I feel about this one. All I know is they're trying to push like it's the girl's fault and she blames herself in text messages. So I don't know.
I think there's a lot of manipulation
He
going
needs
on.
to get a new lawyer. Releasing those text messages.
That wasn't a good
dumbest
thing.
he's
That
ever
wasn't
done.
a good thing
the
at all.
opposite.
No.
This was the opposite of good. I don't know. To me, look, no matter what, and this is true in most jurisdictions, New York and many
Bye,
others.
Max.
When you call for a domestic issue, somebody's going to jail. Whether or not there's charges filed or whatever is
Yep.
just that's a formality that may or may not occur.
Somebody's going to jail. It's the
Going
guy.
to jail.
Yeah.
Because they're going to create distance between these two people. What's the best way to ensure distance from one to another? Somebody goes to jail.
Send the guy to jail.
Almost always it's a dude.
Yeah.
It's almost always, even if he didn't start the deal, if he didn't do any of that, it's almost always the dude. So my natural reaction to this was, oh man, this sucks. This is going to be a bad PR hit for him for a couple of days.
Uh-huh.
And, it's just going to be unfortunate, but it'll go away. Now, with the release of this, not good.
Agreed.
But what are we reading in those text messages? Is that a manipulative woman?
No, I'm reading that Major's team in the second text message that you see had already talked to her and given her instructions about what to say. That's what I'm reading.
Okay.
Right, because it says right here, please let me know you're okay when you get this, she wrote, provided TMZ. They assure me that you won't be charged.
Really?
They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. I'm so angry that they did. I am so sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. It sounds like an abused woman. It's my fault. I spilled the milk.
I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Well, I mean, to some
You're
extent,
I
forgetting.
should have known he doesn't like his soup that hot. It's all my fault.
You're
Right.
forgetting situations where there are women who live in these scripts and do this on the regular to different men, and know how to say things or write things so that it looks a certain way. I think judging this situation at this point, everyone has the right to judge it, but that might not be seeing everything that's there.
But
The
but
only
what you don't
judgment
get
here is that the lawyer shouldn't have released it that
That's
way.
what I'm saying.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
What you're not understanding, Steven, is the lawyer for Jonathan Majors thought this was smart to release. So this girl texted Jonathan Majors. She didn't give it to TMZ. She didn't give it to anybody. They gave it out.
Oh,
So
they're
you're
stupid.
No, so what this is telling me is this girl truly believes it was her fault. That she tried to grab his phone and he kicked the shit out of her.
well, she was
Right.
upset because allegedly, I mean, this is all like statements from people that TMZ talked to, that he was looking at his phone, potentially, possibly messaging with another lady. Again, that was from the very first TMZ article, right? And I have the photo image of the text messages. There it is, right there.
Sources have given it to me too, from the post. But yeah, I mean, this to me is one of those things where I'm sorry, man. She doesn't look like she's in the wrong. Major's team is looking bad.
Yeah.
Looking real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
desperation.
mean, there were injuries, right?
Right.
So,
She says I only just got out of the hospital.
And what were the injuries? What happened?
what happened?
Definite
Didn't
bruises
she have
on her
something
face.
around her neck?
Yeah, around her handprint around her neck.
Yeah.
Alleged
And
strangulation.
to that,
he was
she
charged,
says
so you got to
that
assume
it's
that there's something on the neck.
Yeah, and to that she says it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. That's not a good look.
Not at all.
It's not a good look.
It sounds like an abused person. Like, please don't beat me anymore.
Well, read the tone and the manner in which the previous text was done, and then read wall of text that was the next thing that happened 3 hours later. So scroll up, read that.
Okay.
Look at it.
Please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me they won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. I'm so sorry. I'm so angry that they did. I am so sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you. 3 hours later, they just called again to check on me, and I reiterated how this was not an attack, and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation, and I said point blank, this did not occur, and I should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told this. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about. I just want you to know that I am doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing and passing out and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior. Out of care, she promised all will be relayed.
Just don't beat my ass anymore.
Right. Wow.
Is it two different people that wrote that?
See, and that to me, this looks like a wall of text that was sent to her. Again, just based on the manner in which it's texted, the language, and the way it's couched, et cetera, et cetera. What do I know? Not a lot. I don't do this kind of forensic analysis, but I'm going to tell you that part one, much different than part two.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. Please let me know you're okay when you get this. I'm trying to do that for Nerd Cookies. They assured me that you won't be charged. I can't do a French accent. I tried.
Well,
anyways.
Nerd Cookies, I just want to say for the people in the chat there, I would let Henry Cavill massage my feet. So,
It's
I'm
strong
with
hands.
you on that.
Totally gay, not gay. Absolutely.
No, totally. Strong hands. Strong hands. Yep.
I got sore feet. Somebody got to do it, damn it.
Right. He'd be really good about it too. He'd ask you how your day went and stuff, Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy. Yeah, this is messed up, man. I mean, this guy being this big, hitting a girl or strangling her for a phone, like, come on. How are you going to get
Especially if he's wearing the King power suit, that quadruples his strength.
Or if he has the belt on, because he won it fair and square.
He, like I said, it's just a bad look. And what's really strange to me is this attorney that he hired, Priya Chandri. She is a very gifted attorney. Has won 40 criminal cases. She is an adjunct professor at a prestigious place, in addition to teaching other courses in other prestigious university locations. This is somebody who really is trying to do things, including early on couching this as a woman that is having an emotional issue. So this is a kind of a strange
with
situation.
alcohol involved.
Well, sure. I mean, they were going home in the wee hours of the morning. Is that what you little people say, Walton?
Yes, that's what we
Wee
say.
hour. Yep. But don't forget, there was also a taxi ride, so there's a third person that saw this.
Theoretically, there's video. And
Right.
what's so funny is the attorney story, because she's got to come out and play PR also at the same time. The attorney story is that they already had video and statements to exonerate him. Nada has been produced out of that situation. And you have a DA that's moving forward on 6 counts of third-degree assault, 3 counts of third-degree attempted assault, and 2 counts of harassment. That's no bueno.
Yeah, you're right.
No bueno. We speak so many different languages.
Just doesn't make sense to me anyway, because that the police weren't called until the following morning, and apparently it was Jonathan Majors who called them. None of that stuff makes any sense to me. So there's a lot of questions, man. A lot of things we don't know, and I guess it's going to come out.
Right.
Listen, all I'm saying is I understand. We see a big guy, we see man, we see, we hear reports. I don't think we give enough credit to women out there who have the ability to manipulate and abuse men and create circumstances to where they get to play the victim. I don't know what happened. I don't know if she's a victim. I hope not. I think it's horrible that this event even went down. I don't know enough about it. I'm not passing judgment on anybody. I'm just saying maybe we should keep our minds open, because there's always two sides.
Stephen, what are you trying to say? We are to believe women.
At all times. I understand that. I know I'm in the minority.
Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth.
Wait, believe all women or do Black Lives Matter? I'm getting it mixed up. Which one is it?
Come on, Steven.
I'll get with it.
What is that channel again where you hate women?
I don't. No, what? I can't put it like that, bro.
No. I'm sorry. Where you're teaching men how to make it look like it's the woman's fault. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, Scotty, you're fucked up, man.
What? No, what's the channel again? Dragonstorm?
Lodana's Dragonstorm, Narcissist Slayer. Just hit over 1,500 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being there. If you are a person who has been through narcissistic abuse, please check out that channel, give out advice, talk about how to strengthen your boundaries, your empathic armor. Look, and for you guys out there, I understand how difficult it is to admit that you have been through a relationship where you have been abused, used, lied about, smeared, because we're men. We're supposed to just carry on. We're supposed to just take it and keep moving, right? We're supposed to protect women. But the truth of it is that when it comes to manipulation and social dissemination of false information, women are really good at that. They're wonderful social creatures. That's what they're built for. So, dudes, ladies, whatever a case may be, please come by. I'm doing live streams to talk to other people who have been through narcissistic abuse versions, in ways that I don't know, such as having narcissistic parents. Just did one with a YouTuber called Fresh Start. Going to be having another one with Wes Moody, who's both of his parents are narcissistic. I'm looking forward to learning more about those conditions, the experiences that these survivors went through, and being there to support my brothers and sisters of narcissistic abuse. Narcissistic abuse survivors, thank you guys so much. Yeah, just hit over 1,500. Thank you to everyone for helping me out. I greatly appreciate that. And be good to each other, but most of all, be good to yourselves, know your worth, and keep them boundaries strong.
And what he's saying is,
excellent.
Talking about beating women grows a channel so much faster than talking about comic books and stuff. What? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention when you explained your channel.
Is this like an Andrew Tate thing?
Yeah. I don't even know.
Switch me and Mark.
Scotty's froze me because I don't even know how to respond to that joke. I want to joke with him about it, but I have no idea how to do it yet. So I'm gonna get you, Scotty.
I just did a video about this chick from Love and Hip Hop, Brittany Taylor, who beat her children's father with a baseball bat in front of them.
Oh,
and
shit.
His mother. He had come to pick up his children, and he was leaving with the children, and apparently she said something to him, and he just ignored her to keep going, because how sometimes women are going crazy and all that stuff.
Smart thing is
he
to
just
ignore.
kept walking the way he should. She didn't appreciate that. She punched him in his face in front of his children, and when he just kept going, she went and got a baseball bat and opened up the side of his face with a baseball bat.
Oh my God! In front of the kids. See, Walton would have taught him how to defend himself, because he would have turned. Right? It's self-defense or something like that. You do.
Yeah. But nobody's talking about that, though. It can have Jonathan Majors all over the place. But, Brittany Taylor, who did this in front of children, babies,
right.
2-year-old and an 8-month-old.
Oh, my
He
God.
was carrying.
And think about
carrying the child.
What is it? You go, girl. Yeah, that's the response.
Yes.
problems like that begin in childhood. A lot of the people that are toxic as they become adults have unresolved issues from their childhood, like witnessing things like Mark just described. So it's a continuation of a cycle of toxicity and abuse when you're
this
around.
world. It's this world. Well, and like there was a guy wearing a sign, "Children can't choose," at a, one of those events the last week up in Vancouver, and a very big woman started screaming at the guy and then beat him. Beat the dude wearing the sign, and the guy with the sign got arrested. And when the Vancouver police were asked, he asked for it because he was wearing the sign. That was his. It was
the how it works is if you do something like that and get attacked, you're considered as inciting the violence.
Yeah, it was a mutual fight. It was a mutual fight because he wore the sign.
No,
getting beat by a 6'4" woman.
Oh wait! Was this a woman that had a wiener?
Whoa, man!
I'm just asking. I don't know how to put it anymore.
Whoa, man! I mean, it's just a crazy world we live in.
Well, you've got to ask: has she got a feminine penis? That's the correct terminology.
Okay, all right. I thought.
You know what bugs me out though is that what they're not talking about is the rise in regret.
Yep.
That a lot of these people are going through now who went through the operation and things like that. Those voices are getting louder and louder.
And they don't want to hear it.
People are talking about this reassignment thing and nobody's covering it. No one's talking about it. And that just shows you right there what the problem is, a big part of it.
Kids under 19, about 90, I think and I could be wrong. This could be a bullshit statistic, but I swear I heard it. It's like 95% regret the surgeries.
Well, that's because the people that are there to protect and guide them. Listen, gender dysphoria is a thing. Happens in less than 1% of the world population. It is a thing. It's always existed. It does happen, but your parents, the people that are supposed to protect you and guide you through life and get you through those situations, or how you're feeling about yourself. Puberty is confusing enough as it is. Those are not supposed to be the people that are trying to get you to whack off or change yourself or take injections to satisfy themselves, their own unresolved damage issues and head problems. They're not going and getting resolved. That's child abuse.
Yeah, just mature.
We have gone from not treating people who have mental illness to advocating and platforming people with mental illness to creating entire generations of people who are going to have mental illness because of the damage done to them in childhood by parents who are irresponsible. That is where we are. It's a scary place to be. And Mark's absolutely right. We're going to hear case after case. We are going to see a rise. Okay, first off, in that community, the actual community itself of people with gender dysphoria, it already has a high suicide rate. Now we're going to add on top of that by creating more issues with children who are being injected, having sex changes, before they even discover themselves. Now we're going to have even more poor souls getting rid of themselves because they did not have the time to discover who they were. We're taking things as simple. I believe we're taking things as simple as bisexuality and turning them into transgender issues. And when they're not, it's just somebody who hasn't figured out. It's a teenager or a person who has not discovered who they are, what they like, and what they want to become, or how they show love and receive love as they grow older. It's all. Listen, we have seen in the rise of social media how people with issues are the loudest voices, the loud vocal minority, the toxic blue-haired weirdos. They get the most noise. They get the most traction. We're now at a point now where we have developed a society where we're platforming people with those issues and trying to and advocating for it. This is not a religious issue. This is not a social issue.
And silencing people that aren't.
Right. This is not a racial issue. This is not a choose how you want to love issue. That's exactly it. Promoting destructive, toxic personality types, people who need help, they need some therapy, promoting that as if it's something to be proud of, and then trying to spread that to the next generation. That is the children, as always, since I started this years ago. Those are the innocents that I feel the most for, that I feel the most empathy for. And it's become more than just feeling bad that my son's not going to enjoy the kind of Star Wars that I like or the kind of Star Trek that I like. It's become more than me knowing that parents aren't able to share their favorite modern mythologies with their children because they're being used as platforms for shit that does not represent us as a fandom. But it is now turning into these types of situations where kids are being where judges are taking kids away from a decent parent and giving them to the sick parent because the sick parent wants to take them in for hormone therapy at age 6.
Or teachers being able to do stuff against the parents.
That is evil, Scott.
It is.
I
agree.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll keep going on Rumble if YouTube decides to take me off for believing this. I'm a parent. If someone tried to force my 9-year-old girl to think because she's like good at sports, at softball, that, hey, maybe you're a dude. No, I'm sorry. My 5-year-old once said, I want to be a boy just like you, Daddy. I was like, don't say that out loud too much. Like, I was scared. I was scared for her to say it out loud.
And that should be something that she's allowed to say or express.
Right, because she just wants to be like Dad.
Right,
she just wants to be like Dad because I'm awesome. Because I'm awesome.
Yeah. Yes, you are, my friend.
Yeah.
You know,
Sporking fact.
What were you gonna say, Mark?
I'm just saying, it's gone so like into the schools as well. You know, there are programs and everything that's geared towards making these kids question themselves, and it's something because we have to remember, you know, as adults, we've had a lot of time to, I guess, come to terms with the insanity of the world and stuff like that.
Right.
The insanity is being presented to these kids as fact at this point. You know, so it's almost like when you watch The Walking Dead and you see like the kids who are growing up in the zombie apocalypse versus their parents who had to get used to the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
There's a difference in the mentality and perception. Right. You know, so you're increasing the psychosis when you raise kids in this as it's an institution, right. You know, peddling a sickness as the truth.
Right.
And everybody is afraid to point it out because you don't want to be canceled, you know, so we can't tell these kids the truth. But, you know, there have been so many times when I've had to sit at my son's bedside and just tell him, listen, kid, never think that you're crazy. It is the world that's crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the world that's crazy. And it's like you're trying to fit into this crazy world. So you have to be patient with yourself. You know, when you start feeling like you're nuts and everything, it's not true. It's like you have instincts as a human being that these people are trying to train you to go against. Your very instincts as a boy or your very instincts as a girl, they're trying to tell you that that's a lie. There are no such thing as gender roles. There's no such thing as, you know, like wanting to be a part of a male-female relationship and all of this stuff and to raise children. It's weird, you know, and I feel so bad, you know, for the kids because as long as we continue on this way, each generation is just going to get worse and worse and less effective. The country will fall this way, man.
Yes.
Final days of Rome, man. We'll end it on that because I got to get up early tomorrow. But Culture Casino for $5. This may be one of the last super chats on this channel since Scott's having a conversation about a newly protected and blessed group. Send yours now. Thank you, my friend. I can't hold back anymore. My Rumble's growing finally. We got 12 people watching Rumble right now. Let's grow that thing. If you have a Rumble account, if you don't, start a Rumble account now. 100% goes to the creator. Okay? Rumble is completely supporting us. Completely supporting us. Okay? Why are we all freezing?
I'm trying to figure out if G.R.R. Martin died.
No, he did not. Shut up.
It's a joke.
I'll fucking kill everybody right now if I don't get my book.
I ain't been around in a minute. Maybe.
You son of a bitch. You got me for a split second, and all I could think was not even George R. R. Martin. I was just thinking, God, I won't get my book now. Woo, I got to go. All right, people. Thank you for being here. Go see Walton, How to Beat a Woman channel, Mr. Grant Gregory's channel, Culture Casino, where he talks about things that won't get him in trouble, The Gospel, who just speaks the truth, and me, who will no longer have a YouTube channel. So check me out on Rumble. Bye, everybody.
Peace, guys.
Thank you all for your memberships. Special guest to read them is Joel Rogan.
Spoon Level, Katina Martin, Small Time Republic, Glinzer, Michael Wolf, Biggles _ Mets, McKinney Draws, Sean Estep, Pops, Zax, Fork Level. What about Dontarius, Boosh McFadden? Release Thama Kraken, also Me1, Kitty Bear, Soul Assassin, AI Privilege, Tina Boyan, Bienser, Monkey Jeebus, Ben Hennigar, Mr. Grant Gregory, Eric